Today, I want to build on a message I shared earlier as I feel guided to bring more clarity and depth to it. This message is about balancing your life, your energy, and your relationships. Right now, you're being asked to focus on creating balance in all areas of your life. This is important for closing old chapters, ending cycles that no longer serve you, and breaking generational patterns that might be holding you back. What does balance mean? Balance in this context is about finding harmony between different energies within you, your masculine and feminine energy. These energies are not about gender, instead, they represent different qualities and aspects of life. Masculine energy is about action, giving, and taking charge, while feminine energy is about receiving, nurturing, and being present. Both are equally important, and we all have these energies within us, regardless of whether we're male or female. When what energy dominates, life can feel out of sync. For example, if you're always in your masculine energy working, striving, and giving, you might feel drained and unappreciated. On the other hand, if you're always in your feminine energy receiving and nurturing, you might feel stuck or overly dependent on others. Balance happens when you allow both energies to work together, supporting and complementing each other. Think of it like a dance. If one partner is moving too fast or too slow, the dance becomes awkward. But when both partners move in harmony, the dance flows beautifully. In the same way, your masculine and feminine energies need to work together to create a balanced and fulfilling life. Why is balance important? Balance is essential for growth and transformation. When you're balanced, you're better able to handle life's challenges, make clear decisions, and build healthy relationships. Without balance, you might find yourself stuck in old patterns, repeating the same mistakes, or feeling overwhelmed. For example, if you've been giving too much without receiving, you might feel exhausted or taken for granted. If you've been receiving without giving, you might feel unfulfilled or disconnected from others. If you've been overly focused on doing and achieving, you might neglect your emotional and spiritual well-being. If you've been overly focused on being and resting, you might miss opportunities to take action and move forward. Balance helps you break free from these extremes and find a middle ground where you can thrive. Practical ways to create balance. Here are some simple steps you can take to bring more balance into your life. Reflect on your energy. Take some time to think about where you've been focusing your energy. Have you been giving more than receiving? Have you been resting more than taking action? Awareness is the first step to creating balance. Set boundaries. If you find yourself giving too much, it's okay to say no sometimes. Protect your energy by setting clear boundaries with others. Allow yourself to receive. If you're used to being the giver, practice allowing others to give to you. Whether it's accepting help, compliments, or kindness, remind yourself that it's okay to receive. Take action. If you've been feeling stuck, take small steps to move forward. Even one action can create momentum and help you feel more balanced. Practice self-care. Balance starts within. Make time to care for your body, mind, and spirit. Whether it's through meditation, exercise, journaling, or spending time in nature, find what nourishes you. Embrace both sides. Remember, you don't have to choose between masculine and feminine energy. You can be both strong and nurturing, action-oriented and reflective, a giver and a receiver. Balancing relationships. This idea of balance also applies to your relationships. Whether it's a romantic partnership, friendship, or business connection, balance is key to maintaining harmony. Relationships thrive when there's a healthy exchange of giving and receiving. For example, in a romantic relationship, both partners should feel valued and appreciated. If one person is always giving and the other is always taking, the relationship can become strained. In a friendship, both friends should support and uplift each other. If one person is always leaning on the other without giving back, the friendship can feel one-sided. In a business partnership, there should be mutual respect and collaboration. If one person is doing all the work while the other reaps the rewards, the partnership can fall apart. Balance ensures that both people in the relationship feel seen, heard, and valued. Moving toward balanced connections. Many of you are being guided toward more balanced connections in your life. These could be romantic relationships, friendships, business partnerships, or even casual interactions. To attract these balanced connections, it's important to first find balance within yourself. When you're balanced, you naturally align with people who match your energy, people who are ready to give and receive in equal measure. This creates relationships that are healthy, supportive, and fulfilling, breaking generational patterns. For some of you, this message might also be about breaking generational patterns. These are beliefs, behaviors, or habits that have been passed down through your family. For example, if you were raised by parents who showed tough love, you might believe that love always has to be hard. If you grew up in a household where one parent gave everything while the other took, you might unconsciously repeat that pattern in your own relationships. Breaking these patterns requires self-awareness and a commitment to change. It's about choosing a new way of being, one that feels balanced and authentic to you. Love is meant to be a balanced exchange where both people feel valued, cared for, and supported. However, love doesn't always come to us in its ideal form, especially if we grew up with parents who carried their own emotional wounds. When parents haven't healed their past traumas, they can unintentionally pass those wounds onto their children. This could be called a father wound or a mother wound, and they often show up in how we view love, relationships, and ourselves. Over time, these patterns may turn into what some call a generational curse, a cycle of unhealed pain passed down through families. Breaking this cycle is challenging but necessary. It requires self-awareness, healing, and a willingness to confront uncomfortable truths about ourselves. For many, this healing process involves practices that help clear the mind and balance emotions. Some might even consider fasting not just as a religious practice, but as a way to reset the body and mind. Fasting can help you focus, gain clarity, and connect with your deeper self. Whether it's fasting or another healing method, the goal is to find balance within yourself, learning to give and receive. One of the most important lessons in love is learning to give and receive equally. Many people, especially men, are taught that their role is to give, to provide, to protect, and to support others. While these are noble traits, problems arise when men feel they can only give and never receive. Receiving love, care, and attention is not a weakness. In fact, it's essential for healthy relationships. If men focus only on giving, they might feel drained or unappreciated, leading to resentment over time. On the other hand, some women might find themselves in the opposite role, receiving more than they give. It's easy to fall into a pattern of taking without realizing the importance of giving back. For example, some women might feel entitled to take love, money, or support without contributing equally. This imbalance can harm relationships, making them one-sided and unsustainable. True love thrives when both people give and receive equally, creating a partnership based on mutual respect and care. Breaking unhealthy patterns. Many of our attitudes toward love come from how we were raised. If you grew up with parents who showed tough love, you might believe that love has to be strict, controlling, or harsh. For example, if your mother loved you in a way that felt distant or tough, you might adopt the same approach in your relationships. Without realizing it, you might think, I'm showing love by being tough because that's what I know. However, this can lead to imbalanced relationships where the other person feels controlled or unloved. I've experienced this myself. Growing up, my mother expressed her love in a tough way. When I entered relationships, I unknowingly adopted this same style of love. I became the one who was always in control, showing love in a way that was strict rather than gentle. In one relationship, I even felt the need to play the role of multiple people, the mother, the sister, and the girlfriend, giving tough love because that's what I thought love looked like. But this approach didn't create balance, it created tension. The relationship ended, and I had to face the reality that my way of showing love wasn't working. This experience taught me an important lesson: love should not be about control. When we try to dominate or control someone in a relationship, we're often acting out of our own unhealed wounds. For me, this control came from my masculine energy, which was driven by my ego. I thought I had to take charge because I saw the other person as being in their feminine energy, and I misunderstood that as weakness. This mindset, fueled by ego and past pain, led to manipulation and imbalance, understanding masculine and feminine energies. In every relationship, there's a dynamic between masculine and feminine energy. Masculine energy is often associated with strength, logic, and action, while feminine energy represents vulnerability, intuition, and nurturing. Both energies are essential, and everyone, regardless of gender, carries both within them. The key is to balance these energies in a way that allows love to flow freely. However, when we're out of balance, problems arise. For instance, some women might see men who express vulnerability or feminine energy as weak. Instead of appreciating their emotional openness, they might exploit it, taking advantage of their perceived weakness. This kind of behavior is driven by ego and a misunderstanding of what true strength is. Vulnerability is not weakness, it's a sign of emotional maturity and courage. For men, it's important to embrace their feminine energy without fear of judgment. It's okay to be vulnerable, to express feelings, and to ask for support. Similarly, women need to recognize the strength in their masculine energy, being decisive, taking initiative, and providing care without losing touch with their nurturing side. Balance is key. The chase, a cultural perspective. Another dynamic in relationships is the idea of chasing. In many cultures, men are expected to take the lead in pursuing women. For example, in Nigeria, where I'm from, men are often seen as hunters. They enjoy the process of chasing and winning over a woman. It makes them feel like they've earned her affection. When women take on the role of the pursuer, some men might feel less motivated or even undervalue the relationship. This doesn't mean women shouldn't show interest, but it's about understanding cultural dynamics and finding a balance. I've been in situations where I chased men, thinking it was a way to show confidence. However, I learned that many men didn't respond well to this approach. They preferred to take the lead, and my actions sometimes made them feel like the relationship was too easy or unbalanced. This isn't about playing games, but understanding that balance in relationships matters. Both people should feel they have contributed equally to building the connection, healing, and moving forward. Ultimately, the key to healthy relationships is healing and growth. If you find yourself stuck in unhealthy patterns, whether it's giving too much, taking too much, or trying to control others, it's a sign that something within you needs healing. This might mean reflecting on your past, forgiving those who hurt you, and learning new ways to express love. Healing isn't just about fixing what's broken, it's about creating space for something better. When you heal, you break free from generational cycles and open yourself to a new kind of love, one that's balanced, respectful, and fulfilling. This love isn't about one person dominating or sacrificing everything. It's about two people coming together as equals, giving and receiving in harmony. If you're struggling with stability, whether in relationships, finances, or family, the message is clear: you need to close all cycles to move forward. Let go of past pain, release outdated beliefs, and focus on building a new foundation. The love you're seeking, the kind that feels safe, balanced, and unconditional, can only come when you're ready to give and receive equally. For many years, I believed that I had to do everything in my relationships. I was always the giver, the provider, and the one in control. I felt that it was my responsibility to take care of everyone else, even when it left me drained and struggling. I thought being independent and strong meant I couldn't accept help or love from others. Looking back, I now realize that this mindset came from pride, fear, and a misunderstanding of what love and balance really mean. If you've ever felt like you had to do it all in relationships, whether as a woman or a man, you're not alone. Many of us grow up believing that love has to be earned or that asking for help makes us weak. But over time, I've learned an important truth: love is about balance. It's not just about giving all the time, nor is it just about taking. True love happens when there is an equal flow of giving and receiving. Understanding why we struggle to receive. Think about your own life. Have you ever found it hard to accept help even when you needed it? Maybe someone offered to support you emotionally, financially, or in other ways, and you responded with, "I'm fine," or "I don't need anything." Why do we do that? For many of us, it's because we've been hurt in the past. Maybe we gave love and didn't get the same in return. Maybe we've been let down by people we trusted. Over time, this can make us feel like it's safer to rely only on ourselves. But here's the problem: when we close ourselves off to receiving, we block the flow of love and support that we need to thrive. It's like building a wall around your heart. Sure, the wall might protect you from getting hurt, but it also keeps out the good things like love, kindness, and connection. Why balance matters. To have healthy relationships, you need balance. If you're always giving, you'll eventually feel exhausted and unappreciated. If you're always taking, you might push people away. The best relationships, whether romantic, family, or friendships, are built on mutual support. That means both people give and receive in equal measure. It's not always about giving the same things like money or time, but it's about both people feeling valued and cared for. For example, let's say you're in a relationship where you're always the one who plans dates, buys gifts, and supports your partner emotionally. If your partner rarely does the same for you, over time, you might feel like they don't value you. On the other hand, if you're the one who always receives but never gives back, your partner might feel taken for granted. Balance is key. Women and receiving. For women, there's often a lot of pressure to be independent and strong. Society tells us you don't need anyone, you can do it all yourself. While independence is great, it's important not to confuse it with shutting people out. Being open to receiving doesn't make you weak, it makes you human. Women are naturally designed to receive and nurture. This doesn't mean you can't provide or support others, it just means that it's okay to let someone take care of you sometimes too. Receiving isn't just about money or material things. It could be emotional support, someone listening to you, or simply allowing love into your life. Men and vulnerability. For men, the struggle to receive is often tied to vulnerability. Many men grow up hearing things like real men don't cry or you have to be strong for your family. As a result, men often feel like they can't show pain or ask for help. But the truth is, being vulnerable is one of the strongest things you can do. Allowing yourself to feel and express emotions doesn't make you less of a man. It makes you more connected to yourself and to others. If you're a man, it's okay to let someone love and support you. It's okay to lean on your partner, family, or friends when you're going through something tough. You don't have to carry the weight of the world alone. Healing old wounds. One of the biggest barriers to balanced relationships is unhealed wounds from the past. Many of us carry pain from childhood or past relationships without even realizing it. For example, if you grew up with parents who didn't show you healthy love, you might struggle to recognize or accept love as an adult. You might attract people who treat you the same way your parents did, repeating the same painful patterns. Healing these wounds is a crucial step. This might mean working through feelings of abandonment, low self esteem, or fear of rejection. It could involve facing the fact that you settled for less than you deserve because you didn't believe you were worthy of more. Healing takes time, but it's worth it because it frees you to have the kind of love and relationships you truly want. Practical steps to open yourself to love and support. Acknowledge your patterns. Start by looking at your past relationships. Do you see any patterns? For example, were you always the giver or did you have trouble trusting others? Understanding your patterns is the first step to changing them. Practice receiving. The next time someone offers to help you, say yes. Whether it's a small favor or emotional support, practice accepting it without guilt. Remind yourself that it's okay to receive. Set healthy boundaries. Being open to love doesn't mean letting people take advantage of you. Learn to say no when necessary and protect your energy from those who only take without giving back. Work on self-love. The love you receive from others often reflects the love you have for yourself. Spend time nurturing your self-esteem and reminding yourself that you are worthy of love and support. Communicate your needs. In relationships, it's important to express what you need. Don't expect your partner or loved ones to read your mind. Let them know when you need support or when something isn't working for you. Seek help if needed. If you're struggling with deep wounds or trauma, consider talking to a therapist or counselor. They can help you work through your pain and develop healthier patterns. Building healthy relationships. When you work on yourself and open your heart to love, you'll naturally attract healthier relationships. People who are ready to give and receive love in equal measure will find their way into your life. These relationships won't feel one sided. Instead, they'll be built on mutual respect, care, and understanding, and letting go of unhealthy connections. Sometimes healing means letting go of people who aren't ready to grow with you. If someone is constantly draining your energy or refusing to meet you halfway, it's okay to walk away. This doesn't mean you don't care about them, it just means you're prioritizing your well being. Embracing your journey. Healing and growth are not easy. It takes time, patience, and effort. There will be moments when you feel lonely or unsure, but trust that every step you take is leading you closer to the love and balance you deserve. Remember, you're not alone on this journey. Many others are working through the same challenges, and there is always hope for a better future. Final thoughts. Love is a two-way street. It's about giving and receiving, supporting and being supported. Whether you're a woman learning to accept love or a man opening up to vulnerability, the journey starts with you. Take the time to heal your wounds, embrace balance, and trust that the right people will come into your life when you're ready. You deserve love, care, and connection. Start by giving these things to yourself and watch how they flow back to you from the world around you.